Hey, what's up everyone? So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than we normally do here on the channel, and that is checking out a brand new game called Sneezing Simulator. The game just recently released, and to be a little more specific, it released yesterday during the afternoon under the name of Virus Simulator. Now, of course, it did have to change due to the fact that a lot of people were saying that it shouldn't be called Virus Simulator due to the circumstances that we're going through right now. So now the name has been changed to Sneezing Simulator, which honestly is really interesting and a lot of fun, and I definitely want to show you guys kind of the ropes of the game so that way if you do go ahead and jump in, which I will have a link in the description so you guys can go and check it out, you'll know exactly what you need to do and how to rank up the quickest. On top of that, we are also affiliated with the game, so I will be providing a code in this video for you guys to give you a little head start. So of course, like always, let's go ahead and waste no more time and get right into the video. Now, the moment that you jump into the game, you will be prompted to name your specific virus. If you have played the game Plague Inc. on mobile, you guys will be more familiar with how exactly this game works, which honestly is pretty straightforward. You have created a virus, you want to spread the virus throughout each and every neighborhood, which currently, as I'm recording this video, there are only 3 neighborhoods available, but it's more than enough content considering there's going to be an update in about 6 or 7 hours adding some more new maps. Now, once you've gone ahead and named your virus, your goal is to go ahead and increase your total infected, which is located on the bottom right hand side. Increasing this number will go ahead and also increase your infection points that you can spend in the research or upgrading your airport. When you first start off, the only way for you to transmit the infection in between individual people is by sneezing on the NPCs that come in from the airport. Each neighborhood is going to have 2 individual signs, one that says population of citizens and the other one that shows you the max population for that neighborhood. As you can see from the sign that I'm showing you in the background, the starting neighborhood has a max capacity of 75 citizens. Now, because I have my airport completely maxed out, these will continue to come every 48 seconds. A brand new set of 75 NPCs will come into my neighborhood, which I will be able to infect over and over and over again. Once you've gone ahead and collected a decent amount of infection points, you can go ahead and head on over to the research area where you'll be able to upgrade different individual stats. On top of that, you will also be able to invest in carriers in this menu. This is the most important thing in the game right now because it is absolutely OP and it will make you level up extremely fast. If we go ahead and take a look at the ones provided in the first neighborhood, we'll notice that the very first one is called Basic Noob. Purchasing one of these guys is basically like having 2 of you within the actual neighborhood. So not only will you be able to go around and sneeze on individual NPCs to spread around the infection, but now you will have a Basic Noob that is doing the same thing to the other NPCs in that neighborhood. One thing to keep in mind about this is that when you do move to a second neighborhood, you will have to purchase a whole new set of carriers, and pretty much every single upgrade that you put inside of the research tab, as well as every single upgrade that you put inside of the airport tab. I mentioned this because it's really important to not get too attached with a neighborhood, because once you move on to the second one, there will be a multiplier that helps you out even more. Now, if we go ahead and back out of the carriers tab and head into the sneeze one, you'll notice here that there is 3 sets of upgrades, that being your sneeze rate, your sneeze spread, and the infection points. In my case, the most important one that I had to upgrade was the infection points. I felt like that was the thing that helped me out the most because it does increase how many infection points you get every single time that you or your carrier goes ahead and infects somebody. Now, of course, this is beneficial to me because I am already at 10 million infections, but obviously when you start off, you want to focus a little more on the sneeze rate so that way it becomes a little less stressful when you click each and every single time, because you can only sneeze in about 3-second intervals. So if you're just getting started, go ahead and make sure that you focus a lot on that sneeze rate, at least until you're able to afford your very first carriers. Now, if we go ahead and back out of that menu and head into the infection rate one, you'll notice this, if you have played Plague Inc., is a little more familiar. Here you'll be able to invest your infection points and obviously upgrade each and every single one of these, and it will affect your infection rate. As you can see, I have all of them upgraded, so in the bottom it says that my current infection rate is 7 seconds. Now let's go ahead and assume that you've invested a bunch of money into your research tab. Now the next most important thing is to head on over to the airport and upgrade this, because this will determine on how many NPCs you'll be able to have within your neighborhood. So if we go ahead and head over to the airport and we check out the upgrades for the airport, you'll notice that here you also have 3, that being the unload speed, the plane size, as well as the plane rate. In my opinion, if you're going ahead and starting the game right now and the only neighborhood that you have is the first one, it is really important for you to invest a lot into the plane rate. Before you have any of the upgrades, it does become a little tedious having to wait for the NPCs to come out, because sometimes you will be just standing around with absolutely no NPCs, and I feel like that's just a waste of time. So again, make sure that you guys come in here, check out the upgrades, and put your points into this. I feel like a lot of people are forgetting about this and are not really putting points into their airports because they're not realizing about it until the second neighborhood. Now, if you have gone ahead and made it this far into the video, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my code in game, which is Carbon Meister if you haven't guessed it already. This will go ahead and give you a couple of infection points so you can go ahead and jump right in and get a head start so you can make your way over to that second neighborhood. Now, let's go ahead and touch up on the last 2 things that I want to mention here before we end the video. If you notice in the starting area, there is a blocks arcade. In my opinion, I don't feel like you should invest any of your infection points into this in the current state. If you've obviously ever been to an arcade in real life, you'll know exactly how this works. You put in 1 coin and then the coin will drop to the bottom and push the other ones down. There is a slim chance that maybe you'll get a couple of drops. Each and every individual coin is only worth 5 infection points, but honestly, it's probably going to take you about 6 or 7 to even be able to get 1 coin. So in my opinion, it's really not worth it unless you jump into a server that maybe has like one of the 50 cards that are right on the edge. But honestly, I just feel like you shouldn't invest any points into this unless you just have an absolutely ridiculous amount like I do, that I have 240 billion, and you're pretty much just doing it all for fun and not to really progress. So that's honestly all I really have to say about the arcade. Just don't waste your time with it. Now, for the final thing that I want to touch up on is the ranks. There is individual ranks in the game, and you will find the board at the very back of the first neighborhood. As you can see right here, when you join the game, you will be labeled as starting out until you reach the 50 infections. At this point, then you will be considered a beginner, and then after 250 you'll be an advanced, and so forth. I honestly love these kind of systems because it gives you kind of like something to be able to flex. Obviously, people can go ahead and see how many total infections you have by looking at the top right hand side, but it's just something about having a rank over your head that just makes it way cooler. But yeah, that pretty much does it for the entire breakdown that I have of the brand new Sneezing Simulator. If you guys do decide to play the game, if you haven't already, please let me know in the comments if you enjoy it. If you don't, tell me why. I know that I personally have been having a lot of fun with it. I am ranked number 12 on the leaderboards right now for most infected. Hopefully I can sneak my way into the top 10 here soon. But anyways, that's pretty much going to do it for today's video. Remember, this weekend we should be having some type of a fishing simulator update, so I will have a video out once that drops. I'm obviously not expecting too much new content, or probably any new content, to be honest. If anything, we're probably just going to get a bunch of bug fixes. But anyways, that's information for a whole another video, so that's going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all types of different content. But like always, I will go ahead and see you guys in the next video. Take care.